everyone, my name is Brianna. I'm a proud introvert. Welcome back to IntrovertTV. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you are new here, don't forget to go ahead and click the subscribe button. Don't forget to go ahead and check out my Instagram and Depop, link down below. Today's video is super exciting because we are going to be doing a book haul. As you can see, I have freaking a massive pile of books. I've been actually loving reading recently. Literally, instead of like going on my phone and getting lost in the world of social media, it's just been like so refreshing to put my phone down and just read. Instead of scrolling, I pick up a book. Instead of watching TV, I pick up a book, and I've been loving it. It's been feeding my soul. Like, I love my mindset right now, and I just love reading. So the more I read, the more book hauls we're gonna have. So I have one book haul already here on my channel. I'll have that link down below if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. So today I have a shit ton of books, and I'm just gonna try going through them as like fast as possible. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I have two books from the same author. These books are from Donald Goins. I've been loving Donald Goins' books so much. His writing is just so like intense, but so good and just so descriptive that like I love books that I get lost in, and like books where as I'm reading it, like I can literally just picture everything that's happening. And even though he writes about like tough things and his books aren't the easiest to get through, this book, and specifically Dope Fiend, was such a hard book for me to get through, and it just got me nauseous at some points. It's just like a touchy subject, but it's just such an important story. And trigger warning, it does talk about, it's based around dope fiends, so drug use, prostitution, theft, murder, just like very like tough, and it was very hard to get through at certain points, but well written, such an important story, and I recommend that book. And then I did pick up this one after I read that book, and this is Whoreson. I have not read this one yet. This one is about a boy. He is 16 years old. His mom is a prostitute, and his dad is one of her Johns. And at 16, he becomes a full-fledged pimp, and he is cold-blooded and ruthless, and this is his story. So this is probably going to be another tough read, but an important one. So I'm excited to read that one. I'll let you guys know what I think. Sticking on the Black authors, we'll go into Tiffany D. Jackson. I hauled another one of her books in my first book haul called Grown. I enjoyed that book. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and I wanted to pick up more of her books. So I picked up Monday's Not Coming Home. It's about this girl Monday, and she goes missing, and nobody notices, nobody cares besides her best friend. And this says, this is a story of how my best friend disappeared, how nobody noticed she was gone except me, and how nobody cared until they found her 1 year later. And the reviews were so good on this book, but they were also like they're pretty much saying that this is an emotional, tough read. And Tiffany D. Jackson reminds me a lot of Donald Goins. The stuff that she chooses to write about are very like hard topics, but very important topics. And I'm excited to read this and give another one of her books a try. So I'm excited for this book. Another book that I read that I absolutely freaking love. This was one of my favorite books of 2020, and I just had to mention it in this video. This is The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Souljah. She's also another Black author, and I freaking love this book. I want to get more into her books, and I'm excited because I seen that a second book, Winter Story 10 Years Later, is coming out. That's not what it's called. I forget what it's called. I'll have it on the screen. But the book is pretty much Winter Story 10 Years Later. And if you read this book and you know how it ends, I feel like this is such, like, I'm just so excited because as soon as I finished this book, I was looking to see if there was a second one, and there wasn't. But now there's going to be a second one in March, and I'm so excited. This follows a family in New York City, and the dad is very powerful, very well-known drug dealer until he wasn't, until he was busted and he was thrown in prison. And he had a family, and Winter was his daughter, and she was a teenager, and this is her story of how she is trying to survive all of this after her life was pretty much flipped upside down, and everything she ever known since she was a kid is gone. So this is such a good story, and I really highly recommend it. Sister Souljah's writing is incredible, and also another story that I just got lost in, and as I'm reading it, like, I love books, they're so descriptive. As I'm reading it, I can picture these things happening, and I just freaking love this book. Like, this is such a good book, and I highly recommend it. So okay, so the next 3 books, they are all part of the same series, and I'm so excited. It was a graphic novel series, and I don't really read graphic novels, but I could not get these and not read them because, number one, the ratings were so high, the reviews were so good that I had to give it a try. And as you probably guessed, this is the Heartstopper series by Alice Osman, or Osman, I'm gonna say Osman, and I just had to read it. So I got the first one the other day and I read it. It follows the love story between Charlie and Nick, and they start off as friends and they develop a relationship, and I give this a 4 out of 5. I really did enjoy this one. I got these 2 yesterday in the mail. I did finish volume 2, and I give this one a 3.5. It's just a continuation of the ending of the volume 1. And then volume 3, I did not read this one yet, but I plan on reading it tonight. And this one's definitely very chunky compared to the first and second one, but I'm very excited to read this one and see the rating that I give it. I also did get another book by Alice Osman. I'm pretty sure it's called Loveless, and it follows this girl trying to figure out who she is in her sexuality. She realizes that she never had a crush on anyone, not a boy, not a girl, and she's never kissed anyone, and I'm pretty sure she is asexual, and she's just trying to figure everything out. It just sounded so interesting, so I picked that up, but it's not here in time for this video, so I'll just put a picture up on the screen. Okay, so the next book I have to share with you guys, this is A Totally Awkward Love Story by Tom Allen and Lucy Ivison. This is such a cute book. I did read this one. I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is about a girl named Hannah and a boy named Sam, and they met for 5 minutes at a bathroom at a party and fell in love, and it's such a cute story. I don't recommend this book if you don't like stories that are about like losing your virginity. Like, it starts off talking about losing their virginity. If you don't like books like that, then I don't recommend it, but if you don't mind books like that, then I highly recommend it. It was actually really funny too. I laughed a lot reading this book, and usually books, like, I don't laugh at books usually. So maybe like chuckle here and there, but like I was like dead ass laughing at this book, and it was just so cute, so funny, and I recommend. I got 3 books from bookoutlet.com. I never ordered from them before, and I just wanted to like dip my toe in the water and just see what they're all about. So I ordered 3 books, and if you don't know what Book Outlet is, they are a website that sells books that may have some markings on them that like bookstores like Barnes & Noble, they won't sell. So these were the 3 markings on the books, and these were like very discounted, like 80% discounted pretty much. I got these for like $2. And I don't mind the little markings on them. So the first book that I got, this one is Shadow After Dark Falls, and this is Reborn, and this is a whole series. And I'm excited. I don't really know much about it. I know it's about a young girl, and she goes to a camp in Shadow Falls for teens with paranormal powers, and she meets like a vampire and just, I don't know, just shit like that. And I love things like vampires and teens with powers, so I'm excited to give this a try and to see if I like this and then pick up more books from the series. So boom. I don't know if I said who this was from, but it's from CC Hunter. The next book that I got, this is Losing the Field by Abby Goins, and I picked this up not realizing that this was part of a series. I think it's called like the Field series or something. I'm not quite sure what the series is called, but this is a series, and this is actually the 5th book of the series, and I found this out yesterday. So I did not read book 1 through 4. So I went online and I read the synopsis for book 1, and it did seem like something that I would be into. So I think I am going to pick up book 1 through 4, and then there's a 6th book as well. This one's the 5th, but I read the synopsis of this, so I kind of spoiled it, but not really. So I did pick that up. And lastly, from Book Outlet, I picked up Two Can Keep a Secret, and it says If One Is Dead. This is from Karen M. McManus, and I don't know much about this book. I think it's about like a small town with secrets, and this girl is trying to uncover some secrets that maybe her mom, that her grandma have, or just a small town in general have. So sounds kind of up my alley, so I'm excited to give this a try. Right, so that's everything from Book Outlet. So from Amazon, I mostly get all my books from Amazon, but I picked up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder from Holly Jackson. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and me and my sister are actually gonna buddy read this book for the month of February, so I'm super excited. I don't know much about it. What I do know is it's a girl who's trying to solve a murder that technically was already solved, but the person who was prosecuted for the crime, she doesn't believe actually committed the crime, so she's trying to crack open the case and figure out who really committed the crime. And yeah, so I'm super excited. It sounds really up me and my sister's alley, so I'm excited to buddy read this book with her for the month of February. So next, I did pick up some poetry. So I got 2 books. I got Milk and Honey, and I really did enjoy this book. I'm pretty sure you've probably seen this all over Pinterest, all over Instagram. This is a very popular book. I picked it up, I read it, I really enjoyed it. I marked like poems that really stuck with me. That is a really freaking amazing book, and I enjoyed it. Then I picked up The Princess Saves Herself, and this one by Amanda Lovelace. I have not read this one yet. I briefly scanned the book, and it seems like something that I will enjoy, and I'm excited to read it. So this book was talked about so much that I had to pick it up, and I actually had the hardest time finding this book. It was sold out on Amazon. It was sold out on barnesandnoble.com and my local Barnes & Noble. I found it on target.com. This one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I heard so many people rave about this book. This girl who makes a deal with the devil to become immortal, but the catch is every time she met somebody, they would forget who she was. But one day, a guy remembered her, and they're trying to figure out why and how that is possible. And I'm not gonna lie, I tried to read this twice already and could not get past the second page. I just don't think I'm in the mood for it, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna pick this up maybe in a few weeks when I'm in the mood for it. A few more books. So I picked up How to Analyze People, Proven Techniques to Analyze People, Body Language, Human Behavior, Reading People and Human Psychology by Nathan Newman and Sarah Faulkner. Just human behavior just really intrigues me, and I'm excited to read this and see what I learn. I'm not crazy about the outline of this book and the font and the pages itself, but hopefully I can get past that and be able to read this and enjoy it and learn something. The next book that I picked up is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've never read this before. I want to get more into classics, but I could not get past the 25th page because the way that this book is printed, I just can't do it. It's just not for me, because look how this is. Look how many freaking words is on this page. Look how small the font is, and it just bothers me that the chapter 1's here and then it goes to chapter 2 here. It just really bothers me, and I just don't have the patience. I'll get to 3 sentences on here, and then my eyes start scanning. I just can't concentrate. My eyes just start scanning, and it's just not for me. It's just the way this book's printed. It was super cheap on Amazon, so I'm gonna get rid of this and then get another one, and hopefully I'll be able to get through it. And the next book I picked up, this one is The Outliers, The True Story of Success by Malcolm Gladwell. I did get halfway through this book and then I put it down, but I'm definitely gonna finish it. I really enjoyed it. It's the understanding of successful people, and I may or may not have picked this up because I think this was Michael B. Jordan's favorite book at the time, and I'm pretty sure he named his production company after this book, but I could have just made that up. But I think his production company is called Outliers, and it was very interesting, and I am enjoying it, and I just have to pick it up and finish it. And then I picked up Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. This is a memoir by the creator of Nike, and Nike is one of my favorite brands. And it just really is intriguing to me because he borrowed $50 from his dad and to start Nike, and now his business is worth $30 billion. And that is just so insane to me. And one day I hope that I have a successful business, and I just want to read and learn something from somebody who does. And I'm excited to read this, and the reviews were really good. And I'm just super excited. All right, 3 more books. The next book, Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell? I don't know. And this is about a daughter who disappears, and 10 years later, the mom is trying to put her life back together. And I'm excited to read this. And then I picked up Catching Fire. This is, of course, part of the Hunger Games series. I'm pretty sure this is the second book. Now, listen, I watched all the movies, okay? I freaking love the movies, but I cannot get through the books. I picked this up because when I did a few months ago, I was going to reread the whole series. Well, read the whole series. I never read it before I watched all the movies. But I cannot get past like the 5th chapter of the first book. And I've tried like 6 different times. I tried starting from the beginning, and every single time, the same spot, I stop reading. I just cannot get through the book. And I don't know why, because I love the movies. Maybe it's just the way it's written. But so I just probably will never read this. I think I'll just gift it to somebody because I just cannot get through the first book. Maybe one day, but I've already tried about 5 or 6 times and I just can't. So I thought I was going to be able to, so I picked this one up. It's just not happening. And then the last book that I picked up, this is The Confident Woman Devotional by Joyce Meyer. This also had amazing reviews on Amazon. It's a daily devotional, and my mom loves Joyce Meyer's, so I thought I would go ahead and give it a try. And it just starts off from January 1st all the way to December 31st. So yeah, so that is today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!